Number 2, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should.
My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit mrsdanielledevita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter if you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making. Now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. All right, welcome to another live with Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I am a relationship and femininity coach, and we talk about all things femininity, relationship, marriage, and how to get the person that's best for us. So there's a lot of things that, of course, you have to do that, and we're going to talk about that on this channel. So today we're going to talk about our women good listeners, because we love to communicate. But the question is, are we good listeners? So I had a video I was going to put in, and we're going to get started. There's a link if you do want to join live on camera. Make sure your camera ready. You can click that link to do that, or you can just place a comment or call the number on the screen. That number is 813-816-1813. Let me get the thing set up for calls. So I'm going to get that going really quick in case you guys do want to get in. And make sure that's on my screen. So that's there. And also, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about a book that I have going out, because I know people have been asking. It is processing. I didn't know publishing takes this long of a process, but I do have a book that's already in process right now and publishing, and it's called Command Respect from the Woman You Want. All right, so this book is for men. It is a quick guide so men can understand how women can basically submit to you and how women can respect you. So it is a book that I think people will like. We also have a book that will be coming out later in the early part of the spring for women. The book for teenagers is Boy Bye, and Girl Go Get Your Husband. It's for women. So check those books out. And it looks like we have someone that wants to comment on here, so we can go ahead and have a conversation. Make sure you're in the camera good, and then I will get you on. I got you on.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Good.
All right. I think
Okay,
I'm trying to get on here as well. Good.
okay.
All right.
All right. How you today?
Good. Everything is good here.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to answer that question about all women are good listeners.
Yeah. Do you think women are good?
I can say, I'll say, I'll give you 75% yes. Depends on what they want to listen to or what they want to hear. The other 25% is no, because those 25% believe that they don't think they don't need to be listen to a man just to know, just they think they know everything about it, and because they ain't have nobody like a male figure that talk something right when they growing up. Just from my experience.
Okay, so you said 25% are not good listeners?
Not right.
Okay. All right. And I guess it's a fair thing to say because I know a lot of times women we like to talk. We do like to talk, and sometimes we like to hear ourselves, and we like to get our point across. So we didn't really listen to what the other person said. We just like to speak and then go from there. So it is a fair point that we're not
Mhm.
active listeners as we probably should be. Because if we were active listeners, we probably would have learned a lot from our mistakes. So that's a fair point. So that's actually pretty good. 25% are not active listeners. So you would say the other half are pretty decent listeners.
Yes, the 75% will listen to you. We can talk. But a man can talk a very game or something very promising. Just they'll listen to it. And sometimes with that 75% of them, sometimes those women will fall to a very bad trap. Like a man would tell her anything just so that you know he'll get into her head real good. Like she can win a woman's mind, and she'll listen. She'll fall into his trap. Just just to put it that way. You know what happened thereafter.
Well, let me ask you a
Mhm.
question. Do you think how many men do you think are good listeners?
How many men think they're good listeners? Hmm. I say I say there could be a good 60% of us that's good listeners. Like the other 40, they might don't want to listen because sometimes some women may not be talking anything about what he's not interested in listening or whatever. Because yeah, like you said before, women will talk a lot and will talk too much. So sometimes it'll make a man either fall asleep or he'll get bored if she ain't talking about nothing. It ain't very interesting to him.
Yes. Now, what do you think about on the first date? Do you think women are effective listeners on the first date?
Mm, mm. Good. I'll say I can say I can go 50-50 on that.
Then why do you say 50-50?
Because it's actually it depends on what he's it depends on what he's trying to give out or what he's trying to put in for her. And then if it sounds good to us, then she'll fall in line with him. And on the other half, if it doesn't interested in her, like if he got something good to talk about, and then she don't listen to it, and if she's not interested, then that's could be very that's not going to end well for him.
Mm, okay. I see. Well, I have I appreciate you coming on and providing your input. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
So I have a video of a guy who explained about how he thinks men don't listen. So I'm going to play this video and then hopefully we can get an understanding of what this guy means. Hopefully this video plays and then you can also tell me your thought on that. Let me see if I can get this video to load
okay.
quick.
All right.
Uh, all right, so let me see what he says. I'm going to take you off the screen so everyone can see him.
Okay.
Women have to understand this. Y'all are hard-headed, and women don't listen. Sometimes.
That's a very likewise statement.
No, stop. But
Man,
stop.
saying
No,
the
stop.
hard-headedness.
So-
I'm
stop.
just saying that's a
Listen.
very likewise statement.
No, but it does not matter. What I'm trying to say is she had 8 failed relationships. You're not going to sit here and convince me that it was not a safe space and guys don't like to talk. No, they're talking. She's not being receptive. right? Everybody talks in different ways. If you have 8 failed relationships, you don't know how to listen. You do not know how to take direction. And direction is not like, I don't want to put that in a submissive aspect, but taking direction, like maybe, hey, you know what? You need to just do this just this way. So then that way you get further in your life. And guess what? Maybe she doesn't listen in that regard. Hey, if you want for me and you to be better, I need you to do this so then I could give you that. Maybe she's not listening in that regard. But women tend to not listen. The ones that I believe jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship is because she doesn't listen to anybody. And as a man, we are supposed to be the provider and we're supposed to be the leader. But if you're not allowing him to lead because you're just not listening, then it's going to cause confrontations, which is eventually nobody's going to want it.
What do you think about what he said?
He is 100% correct. Some of these women would not let a man lead by example. It's that, like I say, the 25%, the women that don't listen, those are the ones that want to be in control. They want to be the boss. They want to be the queen bee. Like, they want to control the men that they want to control. So she wants to try to get that type of man on her program. He's a simp if he allows him to do that. But a real man, like an alpha, omega male, will not put up with that. That's the guy that's fully in control, that's fully had his stuff together, and he laid down the foundation that he wants to lead his family in the right man, in the right positive way. Traditionally, the how families are supposed to operate.
Yeah, I do think, and the point of what he was saying, whenever you're having many failed relationships, somewhere there is some type of communication disconnect, right? Someone has told you how they felt, and you dismissed it and moved on and said it was them, it's their fault, and moved on to the next relationship, and then you're repeating this cycle over and over. And I'm pretty sure someone's telling you what's going on, but you're saying no. You should be held accountable, not me. And then we have this repeat cycle. So I do think it's a listening issue. I think it's also accountability issue, right?
Right.
Not want to come into the realization that we need healing. And I'm hearing a lot of men say we need healing. Some women, of course, not all women, but some women need healing, and we don't want to get some men are saying, as a woman, you may be too combative, and we don't want to hear that. We say, well, we're not combative. I'm just blunt, and you don't like it. But there has to be in the way that we speak to each other. There has to be love in the way we speak to each other, the same way we want that man to speak to us. Do you think that there are not enough leaders, and that's why women aren't following and listening to men who are alpha males, or do you think that there's just too many women that's competing for the male role?
Well, I can say that, like you said, the second part, there's a lot of women that wants to compete. They want to be the man. Like this day and age, different sexes have changed their roles. There's too many feminine men, and there's too many masculine women. Like roles have completely changed in this day and age. Because like this is a sinful world we're living in, and a lot of things has changed. It's changed from the bad more so than the good, and it's just let's be good in this world going on. There's more bad happening to it, and just like I said, we just like most of the community, we lost our sense of tradition. Like we changed roles. We got to complacent. We got to go back to the old ways of men has to be the leader. He has to lead by example, and the woman should stand beside him, not behind him, but beside him, she can follow his lead. That's what most women like. They like a man that's in charge and in control. That way she can follow. That way she can follow him with his lead. Because a man can lead, but a woman is also a great sidekick to him.
Yeah.
Women are smarter. If she use her brains right for good reasons.
Yeah, I agree. I think I still believe that there are some men out there who are good leaders and providers. And like you said, I do think this world is changing a lot. There's a lot of men who may be feminine, a lot of women who are presenting a lot of masculine qualities. I did a video on the Philip Scott show, and it talked about a feminine presenting straight male and the masculine presenting straight female, and a lot of the relationships are changing, but we don't have to change. If you want a traditional relationship, be you. You may have to leave, wherever you are to find that. But there are women who are still okay with traditional, and there's a lot of men who want that. And I wouldn't change because the world is changing, because this world is like a fad. They're going to change wherever the wind blows. So we should stay rooted in our culture, rooted in our values, and we shouldn't change that just because the culture of the world is changing. And if you are a woman and you're hearing that you have a lot of masculine presenting, a lot of masculine energy, though that quality, I would step into your feminine energy, get on that feminine journey, because you can still
Hmm.
be an accomplished woman and still be feminine. So this is not to say that you having, your independence is a bad thing, and you knowing how to do things and you being accomplished is bad. It's saying there is a role for you, and that role is not a sign of weakness, because I believe to be an accomplished woman, I believe that I am accomplished and I have a lot of things going on, and just like many of you, I have lots of degrees, I still do things too, but none of those things
Hmm.
matter as it relates to my femininity. None of it
Right.
compared to it, because even if I lose those things, even if I no longer have those things, I am still confident in who I am, because my career, the amount of money I make, does not make me, right?
Right.
And I have a man who pours into me because I also pour into him. So a lot of times we want it one way, but it's reciprocity. And I'm saying this as a woman who's been married for nearly 13 years. Reciprocity is key. We cannot have our hand out and be entitled. It cannot be a gimme, gimme, gimme. And part of that means, are we listening to the men? If you're single now, are you listening to the men that are telling you what they want? Men are saying what they want. They want non-combative, loving, nurturing women who's willing to be in their feminine energy and take and allow men to take the lead. Don't just want a man to be the provider, but that means he needs to also be the leader.
Right.
And we have to want that. So I appreciate you coming on, Brandon McGowan. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining in on this live. Um, if you are there any of you who are listening, place a comment if you have some opinions, things you want to say. You can call that number on the screen, or you can get on just like Mr. McGowan here. He's on live. So you can do that as well. Just make sure that you are camera ready, because we're going to talk about it. If you disagree, if you think women are feminine and women are good listeners and I'm just wrong and I'm pandering, if you think that, come on and let me know. Tell me about myself. I was on a debate team. I don't mind having a conversation. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So,
All
yeah.
right.
So thank you very much, Brandon. I'm going to go ahead and let you off, and I'm going to play the video one more time for those who did
Yeah.
not get to listen in, and then I'll take up for anyone who want to listen. And if not, we'll end this live.
Okay.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Good night.
All right, guys. So take a listen to what this video has to say again. TJ, love your insight. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, here we go.
Women have to understand this. Y'all are hard-headed, and women don't listen. Sometimes.
That's a very likewise statement.
stop.
Man,
Stop.
saying
No,
the hard-headedness.
stop.
I'm
Stop.
just saying that's a
Listen.
very likewise statement.
No, but it does not.
And I want to pause this. So when he made a comment, the girl made a comment, said that's a likewise statement. And I notice a lot of women are doing that. When guys have something they want to say, it's, well, you too, or what about you? And, well, why don't you hold yourself accountable? And, and right now we're not talking about that. We're talking about you right now, right? So let's stick with one topic, because we can go all day long about what men are doing wrong. But right now, let's talk about women. And this is a good example of how women aren't always good listeners, because when a man speaks, our first thing is to retort what that person said before they've gotten all the way in it. And I think there's a lot of intelligent men with a lot of things to say, but if we don't like what they have to say, we just make it, oh, it's wrong, it's not correct. And we want to have a safe space for men to speak, so we know what they're thinking and how they feel. We're wondering why men can't communicate very well, because we talk too much. So shut up sometimes, ladies. I've learned that. Let me tell you, to make marriage work, sometimes you have to know when to be quiet, right? You have to know when to speak and when to be quiet. And you being quiet is not suppressing your things. Like, let me not say anything to, let me not let my emotions go crazy. Because most of the time when we're saying something, it's not like it's something that's needed to be said. It's just something we want to get off our chest, right? But if it needs to be said, then say it. But if it doesn't need to be said and you just need to feel that flesh, you need that flesh to come out, like you got to tell someone about themselves, just be quiet. Because sometimes we say things that we can't take back. All right, so let's finish and listen up.
Is she had 8 failed relationships. You're not going to sit here and convince me that it was not a safe space and guys don't like to talk. No, they're talking. She's not being receptive, right? Everybody talks in different ways. If you have 8 failed relationships, you don't know how to listen. You do not know how to take direction. And direction is not like, I don't want to put that in a submissive aspect, but taking direction, like maybe, hey, you know what? You need to just do this just this way. So then that way you get further in your life. And guess what? Maybe she doesn't listen in that regard. Hey, if you want for me and you to be better, I need you to do this so then I could give you that. Maybe she's not listening in that regard. But women tend to not listen. The ones that I believe jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship is because she doesn't listen to anybody. And as a man, we are supposed to be the provider and we're supposed to be the leader. But if you're not allowing him to lead because you're just not listening, then it's going to cause confrontations, which is eventually nobody's going to want it.
All right. So yes, this is, I think he summed it up very well. If you are someone, if this doesn't fit you, then it doesn't fit. So it doesn't apply. But if you're someone who's going from failed relationship to failed relationship, listening would be a good idea. It would. And hey, if you don't want to listen to me, there's many people that are speaking, and you can listen to them. But what I'm saying is from things that I've learned from experience and talking to other people. I have observed a lot of male spaces, a lot of female spaces, a lot of married, unmarried spaces, and a lot of people who've been divorced. I'm listening to the things that people are saying. I'm taking in my own experience, and I'm trying to present this to you. So I'm not here just because I'm married. I'm here because I'm in a happy, cohesive, safe, loving relationship. And I want that for you too, right? And part of that is being a good listener. Listen to those who you aspire to be or you aspire to have their goals, right? So look for inspiration. And the best way to get that inspiration and get to the goal that you want is to find people who have that success story that you want. If I'm not that success story for you, that's fine, but find someone who has it and listen to them. Because if not, you'll listen to people who are not in successful relationships and they will help you stay in unsuccessful relationships because they're giving you poor advice. They're giving you the modern woman advice and making you think that it's all men's fault. And there's no fault, no accountability on yours, and you don't need to listen to them. All right. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to know more about my content, you can go to mrsdanieldevita.com. If you have seen me, I am on a contributor on another channel, The Philip Scott Show. So I have some videos that posted there. So you can go and take a look at those, and I'll be having some more coming up very soon. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen. You all take care. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, he's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't